Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Five Idiots Talking Toys, where we, I'm going to have to start that again, because Shane always does this, and I can't ever. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Five Idiots Talking Toys. I don't even know what to say. Like the episode, and please subscribe to our podcast here on YouTube, and the cat just sneezed.
I hope you put these in as bloopers.
Also, you can go to Rogue 5 Toys and collect with us, and
I have no idea.
I don't want to.
You don't need to repeat what he says. Just say your own thing.
This is true. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Five Idiots Talking Toys, where five grown men get together on Sunday night and talk about toys. But tonight, there's only four grown men talking because Shane is on vacation. Be sure to join us at rogue5toys.com if you'd like to collect with us. And be sure to remember to like and subscribe, like this episode, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. I guess we're going to get right into it. I think we've got Brandon and Charles and Chris tonight with us. How's everybody doing tonight?
What's going on, John? How are you?
Good, man.
Hey, what's going on, John? Very busy weekend.
Yeah, I hear that you. There's Shane. I hear that you had a big birthday today.
Had a birthday. Yeah. A lot of work. Yep.
Awesome.
Hey, John.
How's it going, man?
Good. Well, I see Shane just popped on.
Oh, yeah. There he is, sitting in the lap of luxury. And his mic's off. He's trying to get his mic on.
Yeah, sorry, I have it muted because it's like a zoo here.
Oh,
It's like kids running wild at 10 o'clock at night in the hallways.
Oh, nice. Your kids?
No, my kids we're trying to get them to sleep. They're still awake, but this is like a kid hotel.
Yeah, I think this is like the third or fourth episode where we've caught you on vacation.
It's all for like 2-day trips. It's nothing fancy.
That is true. You do go on vacation a lot, but you do log in every time because you want to keep the streak alive.
I have to, yeah. Brandon's not going to defeat me.
Yeah, I slept through my out-of-town trip.
Yeah, you were sleeping on the curb.
Yeah, I was asleep in the gutter of some street in Cincinnati. I think I was outside of Kitty's on the sidewalk.
So you and Brandon have a streak of not missing an episode, and I think Shane will ultimately win this because he's been on 3 or 4 vacations, no matter where he is in the world, and he logs in.
Well, yeah, Brandon did check in from like a helicopter one time, so that has me beat.
Oh, that's true.
If I'm on vacation, there's no way I can log on.
Well, at this point, I need any excuse to get out of my room and let my kids go to sleep. They're jumping off the walls because they had dessert at 8 o'clock.
Brandon, that's not true. You were actually in Florida, and you logged in from like Disney World, I believe.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that's probably the last time I get to do that.
Yeah, Brandon, you were in Florida.
That's the New York way of saying it.
That's so New York.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about tonight, John?
So tonight we're going to be talking about probably the main focus is going to be Market Watch. Seeing where things are going, where we think things are going as far as prices and popularity of figures and popularity of different vehicles and stuff like that. So who has seen the most drastic change in the past couple of, I don't know, probably even just in the past couple of weeks? What are some drastic changes you guys have noticed as far as popularity of figures and also the price of figures? I know that inflation has gone up to the highest it's been in 40 years. I don't know if you guys heard that this week or not, but what does that do to the toys? What has that done for the toys? Have you seen an increase in toy prices and stuff recently?
What I've seen lately is like higher graded items seem to be selling for a lot more money. and they don't like last long. So if you list like an 85 grade or something even higher, they all seem to just be selling very fast if there's a buy it now, or the price just seems to be going ridiculously high. I think there's like a lot of either rich people or people who have cash, and I guess their cash is not worth as much right now, so they're pumping it into collectibles. Maybe, higher graded Star Wars items they're putting their money into. Maybe it's worth more money.
Might be Christmas gifts as well. Those people that ask for something for Christmas, it's a guaranteed way to get an authentic, real nice figure for somebody.
Yeah, I sold a couple of mocks this week locally to a member of the IC. Actually, a member of the IC's wife who bought a couple of mocks from me for Christmas. This will be airing after Christmas, so hopefully it won't ruin the surprise. But yeah.
But if you take a look on eBay right now, some of the higher graded, like especially the loose graded items, they seem to be selling like really high right now. There's been one seller, I know John, the action figure grader, has talked about it. We thought there was some shill bidding going on because we saw the items list very high, and then a couple of them were like relisted, but a couple of them did sell. I know he bought one. I bought. Just been very, very high overall, and like a double telescoping Luke loose graded 85. I think it sold for $3,100.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I don't think you're going to see that on Facebook if you list it on one of the groups personally, but it just seems like on eBay right now, they're hitting like all-time highs in those high-graded items. Maybe some of the rarer figures, which are not really rare, but harder to find, like a blue snaggletooth or something. Those seem to be fetching high prices.
We talked about this recently, came up in conversation. There's been a lot of talk about the delays with getting things graded right now, and Brandon and I haven't really started grading anything yet, and we're kind of the mindset, well, maybe now's not the right time to jump in. It's just so busy and there's a backlog. But on the flip side, it came up in conversation recently that people really are buying high-end pieces. They are buying high-graded pieces, and our conversation kind of turned towards the idea of, if you do have some nice pieces, maybe it is the time to grade right now, even if there's a wait. By the time you get them back, the spring rolls around. That's a good time for selling and buying. There's a lot of action, and that stuff is really hot right now, as opposed to just nice loose stuff.
I gotta tell you, I've been into loose graded for, I don't even know, 7 or 8 years now that I've been collecting just the loose graded after I got out of doing, all the mocks. And it's like a roller coaster. It goes up and down all year because during the summertime, I couldn't even sell loose graded figures, especially if they were graded 85. They just weren't selling. They were selling for the price of a loose figure. And now all of a sudden, 85s, 85 plus, especially 90s, they're hitting these all-time highs. So it's like, what's the purpose of that happening? Who knows?
Well, let me ask you this then, because of your, the history that you've had in the hobby, and you've seen these ups and downs. Everybody has their own style of collecting and moving pieces and acquiring pieces. When you see that happening, do you just kind of just stop, just say, hey, you know what, I'm going to hold on to this for 6 months because I see what's happening here and this isn't the right value? Or do you say, hey, you never know what's going to happen. I just got to keep, looking for the pieces that I want and moving on from the pieces I'm ready to move on from? How do you approach that?
I just keep going. Like, I have a bunch of pieces that are in my personal collection that I obviously don't get rid of, and they're not for sale. But if I was to sell a couple of pieces, I just sell it for whatever the price is at that time. I don't really want to hold things for 6 months or a year or whatever. So if I am selling a certain item, whether it was an item I got in a collection that I'm looking to sell off, I just sell it at the current environment that it's at.
So what have you seen as far as are there particular figures that are fetching higher prices with the higher grades? or are there certain figures that people are going after at these higher grades, or is it just any figure that's graded 85 or above?
It just seems like right now, like loose figures, if they're not in like mint condition, they're kind of sitting on all the groups right now. No one's really buying like a regular, very good kind of figure right now. Some of them do go, and it still may reach the price that you normally would sell it at. It's just not going as fast. But it always seems like the mint pieces, when you list them up, those just seem to be selling a lot faster all the time. And whether it's a Luke Farm Boy or a Snaggletooth or even a Princess Leia, all the regular figures that are just harder to find, those seem to just be moving very fast right now.
I'll tell you what I feel. I feel like last 17 figures are not moving at all right now. If you have a nice yak face, or if you have, obviously pop-up art 2, super hot, has been for, 6+ months now. Anything else, literally any of the rest of them, they're just not moving now. I mean, if you did have them and you did want to sell them, you have to sell them for, 2/3 the price or 3/4 the price. That's just my experience, and I've seen you guys in Rogue 5 Toys as well putting some things up, and they're not moving quickly. Let's put it that way. You have to put up a really good bargain to get them to be sold. So that's another roller coaster. It goes up and down that series.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Last 17 seems to have dropped 10% or so. Pop-up R2 is still hot. You can still list him, and he'll sell really fast. The rest of them, they're kind of sitting a little bit. People are really into like the first 12, first 21, some Empire figures. If you list some like mint figures right now, and you can even put a high price on them, they're all selling right now. That's what seems what's hot right now.
With the last 17, do you think that it's market saturation, or just people are losing interest in the last 17?
I don't think it's honestly either. I just think that every one of them costs $300, $400, and we're at, it's the holidays. So some would rather spend $100 on a mint Boba Fett Hong Kong or something than spend $400 on a mint gunner right now. Only because it's the holidays. People go on vacation, for Thanksgiving a few weeks ago, and now people are buying gifts, and then it's New Year's. So I think people still need to get their fix when it comes to buying stuff, because we all get the itch all the time. So they'd rather be spending, lesser money compared to those last 17 prices.
That makes sense. Because we had, as sellers, I know that we dealt with the back to school issue, and then it kind of started to climb again a little bit. And then, like you said, around Thanksgiving break, it was almost like you couldn't throw away the toys,
Like I know right now, Charles has like a dead mint yak face that you listed a yak face dead mint for $550, $600, and that thing would last 10 minutes and he was selling. Now he has one up and it's been sitting there for a weekend. It's just not moving.
Yeah. My take on it, I think most of the people have most of the last 17 who wanted it, and now it's the holidays. And I don't know about you guys, but the last week or two, I've gotten so many messages of people selling stuff. There's like tons of people selling stuff. I have so much stuff right now that I don't want anymore.
Yeah, I have to actually agree with you on that. I've gotten hit up a lot too. I'm used to this. This happened last year, actually, around this time, and the year before. It seems like around the holidays, there's like a big sell-off also, that people need money for the holidays, so they've been hitting me up to buy their stuff, which I'm more than happy to do. But I've actually gotten a few people that finished their collections. They finished their run that they started during the pandemic, but now that life is starting to get back to normal and they're back to work, they don't want to collect anymore because they're kind of finished. So I had 2 people sell off their whole collection also.
The excuse of inflation sounds like kind of like a cop out, and it's like seems like a very easy answer. You know, and it does trickle down to everything. But what I think it is it's almost kind of like the perfect storm right now. I totally agree with Charles. I think that over the summer, you know, you would think that there wouldn't be a big wave altogether of collectors, but I just think there was a big wave over the summer heading into September where everybody filled out their last 17 finally. You know, there was a lot of people at the end of their runs at the same time. They got a lot of those figures. The prices were sky high. And now we've hit a lull with that, like all fall long. And I think it's a perfect storm of inflation and also the holidays. You can no longer, you know, like 2-3 years ago even, you can no longer, you know, if you have a family of 4 or 5, you know, one level of price. Like, you know, just doing regular Christmas is so expensive right now that you know, we've hit a lull on the last 17, you know, as an example. It's inflation and everything is just so expensive to do all at once right now. And so that's, I think, where we're at with some of the more high-end expensive pieces.
Yeah, it's definitely a combination of, you know, a little bit of everything. But at least during the summertime, if a guy who's collecting wants a yak face, he's going to spend $550 on a yak face, knowing that he doesn't have to spend thousands of dollars on Christmas presents for his family. So I think he was more, you know, willing to do that than he just is now. So that's when it kind of goes back to that question. Do you pull the yak face and just hold it for a month or so and sell it at the price you want, or just sell it now at maybe $500 just to get rid of it? That's really up to the selling.
Yeah, I've got a few things I'm sitting on, waiting for, you know, stuff to start driving back up. But yeah.
So as we're all sellers here. So as sellers, are you guys now a buyer? Like more likely to buy?
If the prices keep dipping, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, same here. I'll buy as much stuff as possible, but I'm gonna have to lower the price on stuff because I'm not gonna buy something at a price thinking maybe next April it goes back up. Like you can't do that. You have to buy something knowing that the price is at currently, like at the current value right now. So if a gunner was hitting $350, $400 all year, and now he's sitting at $3.25, you can't be paying top dollar for the gunner if you want to sell him now. That's just, you know, how it goes.
Yeah, what figures have you guys seen that have dipped? What's some other figures that you guys have seen that have dipped? The prices
Warwick for sure.
Yeah, I saw a carded Warwick go for like $325 the other day. Mint on card.
Yeah.
The coin.
And a loose Warwick with the coin used to be $3.25.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just bought a Warwick with the mint on card for $250.
Yeah, I think Shane honestly hit it right in the head when he said that majority or all of the last 17 right now are down, minus, you know, R2 pop-up. They're all down, but that's fine because even if it's down 10% right now, which seems to be about 10%, look how much it's gone up in the last 2 years in general. So it's still up an extraordinary amount anyway in the overall picture of things.
You know, the dip right now really would mostly affect people who, you know, bought over the summer and maybe their intentions with their collection changed. Maybe their, you know, their focus changed. So they bought over the summer at the high point and now they want to sell. I mean, that's really going to hurt those folks because now you're talking about like a big difference. If one of the 5 of us bought, you know, a Warrock a month ago, you know, and it's dipped a little since then, you know, it's not the end of the world. So it depends on where you're sitting with your pieces.
Yeah, no, I can actually totally relate to that, and that's why I brought up the gunner before, because I had someone reaching out to me to buy some pieces, and he's like, "Well, you know, I paid $350 for the gunner, so I'm looking to get $350," and I'm like, "That's fine." I'm like, "But I can't pay you $350 for a gunner if he's not even listing for $350 right now. He was $350 maybe during the summer." But right now he's not selling at $350, so I can't give you $350 if he's selling for $3.25. That would just be going backwards.
Yeah, and the way that we all kind of have relationships with other people in the collecting groups and whatnot, I could probably almost guess, Christopher, that you told that person like, hey, listen, unless you really need the money, maybe hang on to it for a little bit. Like, if you don't want to sell it at a loss, maybe hold on to it for a little bit. We're not looking to talk anybody down out of their collection or take advantage of anybody. So, you give a little bit of advice and you say like, hey, listen, it's down right now, just so you know. I mean, if you want to sell it, sell it, but this is where the price is at. Maybe keep it.
The funny part is that if anyone ever negotiated pricing with me, I'm the worst negotiator because I usually negotiate myself out of the price because I'm way too honest with everybody. So if I think you should hold it, I tell them, hold it, don't sell it. Unless you're seriously hurting, then sell it. But if you can hold it, hold it. So I actually always talk myself out of most of the deals that I lose. And I'm fine with that because I leave and I can sleep at night knowing that I was honest and not lying through my teeth like most people do.
So the last 17 is down a little bit. Mocks are down a little bit. What I noticed kind of just stayed the same was all the accessories and all the weapons and everything. Most of them kind of just stayed the same price. They didn't really dip that much.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. I think the only ones I've seen really have any kind of decrease in price or decrease in value are probably Imperial blasters and
the V5.
Yeah, the V5 has definitely dropped.
Yeah. The V5 dumped.
The V5 reminds me of the Titanic ship when it sank in the water.
One just sold for $150. What are you talking about?
Well,
yeah, I saw that too. He's right.
I think that's an anomaly.
Yeah,
and then somebody else has sold one 2 weeks before that for $150.
Nah. V5 belongs on Fantasy Island where it came from.
All right.
Yeah. Another thing I've noticed here is like the Rebel blasters have dropped a little bit, but not nearly as much as like just a common Imperial blaster has dropped a lot. I mean, it's hard. You could sell one for $25, $30 last summer. Now it's hard to sell them for, more than 20 or so.
Most of the other ones kind of, stayed the same. I think, like a few of them went down a little bit, but a majority just stayed the same, which is kind of weird because no one else, most of the prices on the last 17 and everything went down, but all their accessories are same price really.
So now, does anyone actually do like eBay searches and just follow stuff and watch stuff just to see what the prices go for? Because I know I do that with John, the action figure grader, all the time. My watch list is completely full, and it's never with items that I'm buying. It's always with stuff that I just want to like catch myself up on prices to see kind of like where it's at right now. And to be honest with you, I hate saying it, but it just seems like eBay is the place right now to list your items. They are selling for high dollars.
Yeah, that's something else I've noticed too, is like eBay prices are starting to rise. And it was almost the exact opposite just a couple months ago, where, the Facebook pages, the prices were way lower or way higher than eBay, and now the Facebook prices are way lower than eBay has been. So I don't know what that is either. That's just seems like a weird fluctuation there.
I think the main thing is that people who are selling right now or looking to sell, just don't panic. Don't panic sell. Don't rush into it. This is like a roller coaster. This happens all the time. It goes up and down. 1 month mocks are hot and loose graded are terrible. You want to smash them on the ground and sell them loose because no one wants to freaking buy them. Now loose graded is hot and no one cares about mocks. It just goes up and down constantly. It's always changing. So if you're able to hold on to some stuff, hold on to it. You'll get your full value back. Well, depending on what you paid for, if you didn't pay, double the price, but you'll get your money back if you can hold on and be patient on a lot of things.
No one cares about mocks most of the year. There's a couple of weeks where, 1 or 2 people actually want a mock. Other than that, no one wants it.
There's a fundamental difference like in the way that you can sell between those, platforms, something like Facebook and eBay. And for the time that we're talking about right now, where things are down a bit, it kind of makes sense to me that maybe eBay is kind of the right direction right now, because you can put something up on one of the Facebook groups. If it doesn't sell in like 12 hours, I wanted to say 24, but it's really like, if it doesn't sell the same day, the same waking day, it's dead in the water. It's not going to get back to the top of the group. Nobody's going to buy it. And eBay, you can list something and let it sit there as long as you want, and people are going to find it via search. They're going to find it, between when it's listed and then between the auction is up, and there's multiple times they're going to see it. Does that make sense to anybody? I mean, really, if you put something up on Facebook, it either sells or it's dead.
I mean, I would say within a day, no one messages you, no one inquires about it. It's probably dead. But when you look on eBay, there's a 14% fee. So you sell something for $100, you're losing $14 right off the bat. Whoever buys it has to pay tax. It's just and then next year there may be a new law, for the tax law, and I don't know who's going to be selling on eBay next year.
It just seems to get worse and worse.
And that's another thing I'm thinking of also, is that I'm thinking, is that why eBay is hot right now? Because people know the new tax law that's going into effect. So is everyone listing their items now to just get them out, get the best bang for their buck also? Because think about it, when you're on Facebook and you're buying from one person or another, most of the time I think you're usually paying cash, friends and family and stuff. When you're on eBay, you can use your credit card for everything and anything. So you can rack that card up as high as you want. They also have PayPal credit, which is 0% interest for 6 months. So I think when you give someone 6 months, 0% interest, they're probably more inclined to spend more money on an item than they would if it was cash.
Chris just got hired by PayPal, everyone. It's his new job. So you can catch him live next week, offering credit to everyone.
Yep, and he's down. He just got himself down to 1.9% on all of his transactions.
You have to think about it, though. Next year, supposedly, you sell more than $600, you're going to be taxed on everything you sell. That's selling, like a yak face and, I don't know, like an A-wing, and you're already over the limit.
Yeah, and I noticed that that stuff's starting to creep onto Facebook Marketplace too. Even if you're not selling on Facebook Marketplace and you're just selling on a page, they always ask, looks like you're selling an item. So I think that Facebook's going to be the next, right now it's kind of like the last frontier of,
We're going to be selling toys like drugs on the corner.
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to have to.
Or it's going to go back to the old days of eBay when you sent someone a check or like a money order and you had to wait for a week or two for them to get it in.
Ugh. I remember those days. I think I bought do you guys remember the Marvel Legends figures? When they first came out?
Yep.
I got a maskless Wolverine like that. It had to wait for the check to clear and all that stuff, And it took it took like 2 weeks to get the figure in. But yeah, that was the days before instant payment.
So Chris is motioning us with his hand and jumped out of his chair for something.
Did he have to go puke somewhere?
He is coming back with something.
I'm not sure that was really necessary to add that part in. I'm trying to get some more information for the show, but thank you for sharing that, with everyone.
It's just a little behind the scenes info, just a little taste.
What I actually jumped up out of my seat for, because I was looking for it earlier, but I couldn't find it. Since we're talking about Marketplace, we're talking about numbers. I've told you guys that I used to have a huge mock collection where I had every single debut mock and everything, and I sold it, I think 2009 or so when I got divorced. So I found my original price guide that I used to go by. So inside, they have a whole list of vintage figures. So this is what I used growing up always collecting.
Absolutely.
What I found remarkably was what I bought them at and what I sold them at. So I have like a lot of prices here, not all of them, but I found a lot of prices here that we can compare from 2009 just to 2021 now.
And how long were you crying for when you found this?
Oh, I'm actually still crying now. Like, for instance, I bought a Yoda 32 back B, which is his debut card. I bought it for $199, already graded AFA 80.
Woo!
So that's what I bought it at, and I sold it for $249. So I made a $50 profit.
Nice. Sizzler.
And then
Taco.
We go
You
with
got tacos.
Sizzler.
he has actually a better one. In 2006, I bought a Darth Vader 12-back C, AFA 75, for $299, right? A 12-back C Darth Vader. And I sold him in 2009 for $305.
$6. What is
You
that?
make $2 a year.
So give everybody who's watching some context. What would that go for today in 2021?
Right now, like 12-backs, I know 12-back A's are very hot, but 12-backs in general, I think, are good. So they're up in the thousands now. Like they are thousands. A Luke Farm Boy graded 85, 12-back A, he's going for like $6,000, $7,000. Now, I don't know if it's selling, but I know that's what people are asking for. There's a guy on Facebook, he wants over $8,000 for his. Whether or not he gets it, I have no clue, but that's what they're asking for. So a Darth Vader, like a graded 75, he's probably getting $2,000 right now.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Here, I know this has always been a popular card of everybody. It's Luke Bespin, his 31 back, which is his debut card. I bought an AFA 80 for $300, already graded AFA 80, $300, and I sold him in 2009 for $400. So I made $100 on it, and it's not even about what I made or what I lost. It's just the prices of what they were back then to what they are now. Because ungraded, he's $1,200 ungraded probably right now.
So yeah, Chris, what are some other like crazy Mox prices from back in the day compared to today?
Well, the reason why I actually looked at my list was because the fact that I found it and I was just looking through it, but I was able to relate to one of them perfectly because it says back here in 2007, I had a Luke X-Wing that I paid $219 for, and I sold him in 2010, graded an AFA 80. So I'm assuming I sent him in to get graded. I really don't remember, but I was grading, back then from AFA, and I sold it for $250 graded. And me and Brandon came across the Luke X-Wing. This thing was mint, and we sold him for $1,500 ungraded. So $250 graded an AFA 80, and now he's $1,500 ungraded. So that's a huge price increase in 10 years.
Absolutely, and that kind of makes me sick. Thinking of all the stuff that a buddy of mine and I used to go to toy shows and stuff and set up, and we sold Star Wars stuff, but we also sold, I think Batman the Animated Series was big, so we had some figures from there, and then the Toy Biz Marvel figures, the 3 3/4-inch Marvel figures were big, and Secret Wars and all that stuff, and just thinking about all the stuff that we sold. But you can't predict that kind of thing, and you can't sit on it. You have to move it.
No, of course, I didn't have a choice. I had to move it, so I probably would have kept it if my circumstances were different. I'd still have it, but it definitely makes you sick thinking about it. And I don't want to ramble on the show the whole time about prices, but if anyone is curious and they have a certain figure or a certain card they wanted to know, just PM me on the side and I can tell you what I had paid for it and sold it at what year. Because I know that there was a person, David Sean was actually doing information on this a while back where he was trying to take down like graphs and stuff of what things sold for and what things, were bought for 10 years ago. So.
Yeah, the Action Figure Grader, that magazine was like the Bible, almost like Toy Fair magazine. And then what was another one? If you're into comics, Wizard magazine.
Yeah, Wizard had Lee's Toy Review.
Yeah, and those were like the Beckett's of, the Beckett sports cards magazines of the toy world. But I had to get one every month, and it was crazy. It's crazy now that you have such instant access to the prices, so you know where the market's going, how the market's playing instantly. Whereas before, you had to wait once a month to see if the prices had increased, and I don't even know how they gathered all that information back then.
Yeah, I have no idea, but I remember hopping on my bike with my brother and literally riding our bikes to like Sam Goodies and bookstores to try and get these checklists and these price guides to find out what was hot of the month and stuff like that. It was just, it brings back like a lot of memories.
Now you just log right on and you can look at whatever you want.
Where does everyone see prices going? I mean, I know that we all think, except for Charles, think that Boba Fett is going to start spiking here in the next couple of weeks. What are some other things that you think they're going to start spiking or going to go up and up and up? Or where do you think they're going to go? Do you think they're going to go down?
I'm going to say mocks will start to go up. Loose graded will go up. I think a lot of the loose figures that are in like very good condition, not like mint ones, will kind of stay where they are now. They're kind of flat and no one's really buying them. And a lot of people will be looking for like mint items to replace the ones they have now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, upgrades for their current collections and stuff like that. Slowly, but
that's what most of the people on the auctions want. They want items to upgrade their current ones. I mean, that's what I do all the time. I always look for something that's better than what I got to try to upgrade. So that's the same thing as Charles is saying.
Yeah, I don't think prices are really going to go down next year. They might kind of stay flat. And if they do go down, we're talking about like a couple of dollars here and there. I just think that most people right now are just going to be looking for like really, really mint figures to upgrade their collection or even upgrade their loose collection. I don't think people are going to be buying 20 beater stormtroopers anymore for their, for their battle scenes they have going on at home.
right. And, you can always find really nice figures, and at Rogue 5 Toys we're going to shoot you straight when we sell our stuff, because we collect too. It's not just like we're out selling stuff. I mean, I know that a lot of people recently I've talked to, and we've messaged before, all of us have messaged people who have gotten things on other sites or other Facebook pages, or even on eBay, and it looks good when it's on the screen, but when they get it, it's not anything like they expected. But you know what to expect from us, because like I said, we're all collectors and we're all finicky about our figures and what we sell. And if we say it's a beater, it's a beater. If we say it's near mint plus, it's near mint plus. So check us out at rogue5toys.com if you want to get some great vintage toys in great condition. But you guys have experienced that, haven't you? Where you bought figures from other sites or other people, and they look great, and then you get them in, and you're like, "What? Is that the same figure?"
Happened to me today.
Oh, really?
Yep. Bought a figure off eBay, got it in with a fake blaster, and the seller says, "No, it's real. It's a V4, whatever." And I'm like, "Actually, it's a V6 repro on this." So
with the groove on the cartridge.
Yeah, happens all the time.
So let's ask Lobot what's going to happen to the price of Boba Fett's. If his arms go up, it's going to go up. His arms go down, down. That's it. Lobot has spoken. Boba Fett prices are going down.
I think the market saturated just for a little bit because everyone was holding out, and they're just like everyone's listing stuff in a frenzy now. But I think in the long haul, in the next couple of months, even while the show is out, after, I think his price is just going to continue to keep going up and up and up and up, or at least stay the same. I don't see any drop in Boba Fett stuff at all.
Well, we're about to find out because it's only like 2 weeks away. So there's Brandon with his Boba Fett. Yes.
You want to ask your Boba Fett something?
I don't talk to my Boba Fett like you talk to your Lobot.
All right, guys. Well, anything else we want to address tonight, or?
No, I think that's good.
I think so too. All right. Well, guys, thanks for joining us again tonight, and stay tuned for more episodes. And if you have any kind of, if you have a collection you'd like to see featured on one of our collector's corners, please let us know at 5idiotstalkingtoys.com. There should be a note there pinned at the top that you can comment on, and let us know if you want your collection to be featured. And also, again, join us at rogue5toys.com, and be sure to like and subscribe to this channel on YouTube. All right, I guess if that's it for everybody, we'll see you guys next week, and thanks for joining us. Be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you.